Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with the fourth update for my Panda palette. So I'm really excited to show you the progress that I have on this palette this month, but before I jump into that, if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you in the family. But let's just go ahead and show you my progress. So as always, I'm gonna go ahead and insert a picture of where I was last update. I have used this palette quite a lot and I'm just gonna quickly show you where I am today. So this is the progress that I have currently. I feel like I've done pretty damn well this last month, especially considering that I have been inside and in quarantine. Also the palette broke like one day after the last update, so that is unfortunate, but I have been able to use it anyway. So let's go through my goals that I had for last month. So initially the first goal I had, like the major goal, was to hit pan on the coral shade, and as you can see I was definitely able to do that. I've hit a massive pan on this shade. I feel like this shade in itself is very powdery, and when I used it I had to be very careful not to pick up too much on my brush. What I tend to do is I try to kind of tap it in and keep most of the kick up in the actual palette, and then just tap off the excess before I apply it to my eyes. That way I felt like I didn't waste it too much, but like I said, it is a very powdery shade and it didn't take very long for me to pan on that after my last update. So that is the first goal, and I was able to hit that. The second kind of bigger goal that I had was to hit side pan on this shade right here, and hopefully you can pick that up on camera that I was able to do that as well. This one definitely took longer than I thought it would. I did have a decent sized pan in this shade before, but it took longer than expected to work my way to the side of that pan. But again, I was able to hit that goal. And then the third goal that I had was just basically to expand the pan in this shade, which again I definitely feel like I was able to do. But now after going through my goals, I'm just gonna go through every shade in order. So the first shade, like I mentioned, is this one, and I did use this quite a lot. I have used it mainly as an inner corner highlight as well as a highlighter on my face. I do use this together with MAC Soft and Gentle on my face as a face highlighter, because on its own MAC Soft and Gentle is a little bit too dark, so I mix it with this one to make it work for me, and that's been like going perfectly. That is also what I'm wearing on my face today. So that's probably how I expanded most of the pan in this, and I feel like that's kind of how I'm gonna get the most use out of this shade anyway, because I tend to use this shade in my inner corner as well, so this shade is mainly used as a highlighter for me. Next up we have this golden shade. I did use this quite a few times actually. I have a bronze shade in my Panda's eyeshadows, so I did pair it with that quite a lot, because this one is just like a little lighter and a little brighter, and I feel like putting that on the middle of my lids just kind of brighten up the look a little bit. So I've been doing that quite a lot, and I really like this shade. I don't think I will have any problems going through this shade this year. Next up, like I said, is this one. I have used this tons, mainly as an inner corner highlight again. I don't really think that I used it all over my lid, maybe just once, but again I am wearing this shade on my inner corners today. So yeah, that's this shade. I don't really have anything else to say about it, I think, because that's mainly how I used it. When it comes to these two browns here, I usually talk about them together because they are used in the same manner and they're just kind of slightly different. This one is a bit more warmer tone and this one is a bit cooler tone. I honestly haven't really used them that much because I have a really dark shade in my Panda's eyeshadows, and as I said in the introduction to this video, this is kind of my secondary project to that. If I do have a shade that works in a similar manner in my Panda's eyeshadows, I will always reach for that one first and then kind of reach for this one after I hit pan on that shade. So these two I didn't use much. I used them a handful of times together, but I don't think enough to show any progress. Next up we have this kind of purple shade, burgundy shade. I don't think I've used this at all this month. It's a shade that I'm kind of leaving for fall and winter, because it is not really a shade that I feel gravitated towards currently. Perhaps if my Panda's eyeshadows change a bit to kind of complement this shade better, I may reach for this more, but yeah, it's just been one that I'm holding off with currently. Then of course the next one is the coral shade. I have used this shade tons. It's a perfect kind of crease shade and it works really well as a transition shade. I think the next video that is going up is pre-filmed and I filmed that yesterday. I am using this as a transition in that video, so if you want to see what it looks like you can check that video out. But I have mainly been using it that way. It's not really a shade that I would use all over the lid or as a one and done shade. I think you could probably do that, but it's not really the look that I'm going for currently, so it is mainly a transition shade for me. And then the last and final shade is this one right here, and again I only used it a handful of times, not much at all. I feel like this shade will be one that replaces this one as soon as I get a tan, and I have mentioned that before, so I haven't really touched it much in this last month. Then let's move on to talking about my goals for this palette for next month. Until now I have hit 1 pan per update, so I feel like I kind of want to continue doing that. And if I'm being honest, the shade that I think I'm most likely to do that on is this brown right here. So I think my goal is going to be to either hit pan on this brown or this brown. Again, it kind of depends on what type of shadows I get in my Pandas eyeshadows, but if I can choose personally, I think it's going to be this one because we are in summer and I'm probably will tend to reach for more warmer tone shades. So I'm going to choose this one preliminarily, but again, it could be either one of these two. Then for my second goal, I feel like I want to continue working on this shade right here, and I kind of want to wear away this corner, so moving kind of straight up here, and I want to move away all of that product. I feel like that would be a kind of reachable goal because it is a shade that I think that I can kind of move out first, and so that will be that goal. Then the third and final goal I think will contain this kind of coral shade again, because it is a beautiful shade now for spring and summer, and my goal for this will be to hit side pan. I think I'm going to try to work away on the pan moving up and at least hit side pan. If I can kind of clear out that whole section kind of straight up, I will try to do that as well. So those will be the 3 goals for next update. So that was the update for my Panda palette. I am actually really happy with my progress on this. I am not expecting to finish this year because I am doing so many other projects, and I'm trying to focusing on my eyeshadows this year and using as many as I can. So if I can't finish this, I won't be too upset, but I'm hoping to at least finish a few shades and hit pan on everything. So judging from that, I think I'm definitely on the right track, and I think if I keep it up the way I have been, I should be able to hit those goals. But that was it for this video. If you did like it, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Otherwise, I will talk to you in my next video. Bye guys!